Okay, so actually I'm going to be filming 2 videos from my parents' house this week. But I completely forgot that since it's September, that means it's time for another tier ranking video. So I tier ranked the first 4 months, all of the books that I read the first 4 months of the year, and did that. And then now I'm going to do the next 4 months. So that is May, June, July, and August. If you haven't watched a tier ranking video from me before, I have issues with the tier ranking websites, so I make my own in Canva, so that's how we roll with this. Once again, let's go over the tiers that we have here. Okay, so I did keep them pretty similar to my first one. I'll link that first video down below as well. So I did keep them pretty similar. So I have 6 tiers. So we have God tier. It's God tier, self-explanatory. I love her. I love her. Damn good time. It was a great time. It's like I didn't necessarily like, she's not, I love her, but like I had a good time reading. Good Fine Whatever. It was Good Fine Whatever. And I think we're actually gonna have a lot of those in this one. Then this 5th category, I did switch. I didn't have this one the first time around, but there are like so many books where Dorian, Arya. You're too many pets this week. Arya, stop yelling. Strong Smut Game. Because there are so many like novellas and things where it's like they don't really fit anything else except that like the smut was strong. Arya, she just loves to hear herself yell here because it's like so much more space and she's literally just staring at the pantry, just yelling at it. And then last category was, it was a book. It's a book. I can't take that away from it. The fact that it is in fact a book. So we're just going to go in order of what I read them. So first up, we have Dirty Dom by Sarah Bailey. This one, honestly, it wasn't even like strong smut game because the smut note was so boring. I'm going to put it at it was a book. Like it's there. I love the smut in her 4 Horsemen series. That is like chef's kiss. This was just like bland, very, very bland to me. And especially with like the title and the premise of it, I was hoping for some like amazingness and it was not there. Next up, we have Made for Her by Honey Chanel, right? Is it Honey Chanel? Yes. This one, again, another like really, really short novella. It's just going to go in strong smut game. Like that was hot, but that was it. Then we have Thrive by Kristen Beccarecci. What number is this even? It's number 4 in the Addicted series. I don't know where it falls in with the Calloway sisters. I did love this one. It's not my favorite of the series, but I did really like it a lot actually. But the timeline of this one overlaps with 2 other books. So by the time that you read this one, you've already read the other 2. And it just kind of got a little repetitive at times. So I love her, but not God. Then we have Addicted After All. I'm putting this one in God tier. I loved this one of Lillian Lowe. I think this might be one of my favorites of theirs. I think Addicted After All, the 3rd one, or Addicted for Now, the 3rd one is my favorite of theirs, but I did really like this one a lot. Then we have Fuel the Fire, which is Connor and Rose's 2nd book. You know what? Honestly, is this even God tier? It's not even God tier. Like, I love her. And I think Fuel the Fire the same way. I love her. Like, I remember I put Hot House Flower and Kiss the Sky in God tier, and those, they don't match up with God tier. Like, they are not at that same level. So, those are going to sit there. I really don't think I'm going to have a lot of God tier people today. I really don't. I did not have that many God tier reads these last 4 months, so it's gonna go and I love her. Breaking Mr. Kane, the 2nd book in the Wanting Mr. Kane series by Shanora Williams. Love that series as a whole, but this book individually, I'm just gonna put in Damn Good Time. The first book is by far my favorite of those. Yeah, the 2nd and 3rd, like on their own, I don't think that, like, I don't think they stand up on their own. Long Way Down. I think I'm also going to put this one in Damn Good Time. Like, I did really like this one, but as a whole, this one I did put towards the bottom of my series ranking for that one. It's Daisy and Reich's 2nd book, and I just don't love it as much. Can you stop moving around and making so much jingle jangle noise, please? And then Some Kind of Perfect, again, I'm going to put in Damn Good Time. Like, I love this. It's a novella book. There were times where I felt like, okay, we can kind of like skip through this a little bit. But I did love this like final send-off. Can you hear her taking the loudest drink of water? These pets are like driving me bananas today. Okay, now that she's finally done with her drink, The Masks and the Dancer, the 2nd book in the Dancer and the Masks duet by B. Page, or their Obsession duet actually is it called, by B. Page. I don't know. Now sitting on this, I loved the first book, but now sitting on it, I don't know if I love the second one. I think I'm going to put it in good, fine, whatever. Like, I'm glad that I finished the duet as a whole. The duet as a whole, I like, but this book individually, I don't know. I didn't. Looking back, I don't think I loved it as much as the first one. I don't know, but it could maybe go into, we're going to leave it. There's always the end. We always look at it at the end to see if there's anything to adjust, and that might be moved. Next up, we have The Awakening of Ivy Leovold by Sarah Simone. That one's also going to go in good, fine, whatever. I did really like it, but honestly, nothing like super standout or memorable to me in the long run. Then we have Eyes on Me by Sarah Kate. I'm going to put this one in. I love her. I do love her. And this is one where, you know how like the reverse happened with The Dancer in the Masks, where the longer I sat on that one, I don't know if I loved it as much. The reverse happened with this one. The longer I sit on this one, the more I think I actually loved this one. I did give it 4 stars anyways, but I don't know. There's something about like Garrett and Mia that now thinking back on it, and like as I'm reading Mercy right now, when I see them, I get like giddy. And I'm like, maybe I do actually love this one the most. I don't know. I really love this one. So it's going to, I love her. Next up, we have Mafia Mistress by Mila Finelli. And this one again is going to go in good, fine, whatever. Fausto just kind of like sucked. I don't know. I did not love this. I know a lot of people do love this one. I do want to finish it, like finish the duet. I don't know if I'll continue on with the series after that point, but this one does leave off on a cliffhanger and I will finish it eventually. But I don't know. It's not my favorite Mafia book I've ever read. Now, this one is strong smut game. This is Dirt by, who is this by? I can't remember. Oh, I can't see the author's name on here. I cannot remember who the author is on this one, but it's a novella. It is all sorts of messed up. So like definitely heed any trigger. The author says like, this is not a romance. So like definitely heed triggers going into it, but like, wow. Wow. It's unlike anything I've ever read. So strong smut game. Next, we have The Dark One by Nikki St. Croix. So this is the second book in the Vicious Darling series. The third book just came out and I need to read it. I'm going to put this one in damn good time. I really like this series. I don't think I liked... Did I like this one more than the first one? Honestly, they kind of like blur together. They are shorter. They're more like novella length. So honestly, I can't really even remember like what happens in which one. But I did like this. Yeah, I had a good time while reading it. Next up, we have My Dirty Duke by Joanna Shoup. Well, I can't remember anything about this. What is this? I know it's a novella and it's I literally can't remember the premise of this book. Dorian, can you not do that to the blinds? Grandma and Grandpa are gonna be mad. Dorian. I guess it's gonna go when it was a book. I literally can't remember anything about this book. Next up, An Angel for the Devil by Jessica Kane. I should have an unhinged category because that's where this would belong. Honestly, the smut in these, I don't personally think is even that good. But, I think it is like, it was a book. It was a book, okay? Like, I enjoyed it. And even like this being down in this bottom category, like, it doesn't mean that I didn't enjoy it. It's just like, I don't think the smut game was like strong in it. And honestly, it's a book / unhinged. Okay, that's really the category now. Next up, we had the first book. These next 4, you know what? Let's bring them all up because I read them consecutively, which I literally never do with series, but I was so like enthralled by this series. So we have the Wolf Hotel series by K.A. Tucker. So the first one I'm going to put in Love Her. That's Tempt Me. Break Me is God tier. I loved Break Me so much. That was my favorite book out of the whole series. Teach Me is also going to go in I Love Her, and Surrender to Me, I think I'm also going to put in I Love Her. Yeah, Break Me feels weird. Oh, but I did really love Surrender to Me. Does that one also belong in God tier? We're going to leave it. We're going to leave it there. That might change, but I loved Break Me, by far my favorite. Next up, we have Loving Mr. Kane. Again, I'm going to put that in damn good time. It's the last book. I did like this one more than Breaking Mr. Kane, but still they don't beat Wanting Mr. Kane, the first book. But overall, still, like I said, love that series. I have 3 novellas right here. Let's bring them all up. So The Husband Sitter by Jessica Kane. Just like unhinged. But I think that one was better than An Angel for the Devil. So I'm going to put that one in strong smut game because I think that one was better in that arena. And then 11 Hours and 11 Scenes. I'm going to put 11 Hours in... I'm going to put them both in strong smut game because honestly, that's where they both belong. They're both just like hot, quick novellas. And yeah, I enjoyed them both. Next, we have Beautiful Sinner by Sarah Kate. This is one that the more that I sit on it, the more I'm like, it was good, fine, whatever. It's good, fine, whatever. Not my favorite by Sarah Kate, not my least favorite by Sarah Kate. Actually, is it my least favorite? It's probably my least favorite that I've read from her. I still give it 4 stars and I still would recommend it. But the more that I sit on it, the more I'm just kind of like, it was fine. It was fine. Now, burn for me though, that one, Damn Good Time. That's a reverse age gap revenge student teacher story. Is this lined up? It's so hard for me to tell if these are lined up. And then when I'm editing, I'm like, oh my God, that's not in line. But you can't really tell when I'm like on the screen, it's too small. But anyways, burn for me, loved it. And yeah, Damn Good Time. Kink Camp by A. Anders. So this one was really disappointing for me and Cheyenne. We read this for Smut Club and it didn't even have strong smut game. It was bland. It was a book. It's a book. I can't take that away from it, but no, it just didn't hit like I had expected it to hit. And then, you know what? I'm gonna skip around and actually just pull all of these up here. Even though I didn't read these all back to back, but I reread the Crossfire series. There's a whole group of us that did a giant reread or like first read on this series here on YouTube and vlogged it. And I loved this series when I first read it. I didn't necessarily like love it as much on the reread, but I do think like I wasn't in the mood for it. Whatever. I'm trying to even remember the difference between these books. I think the first one I like a lot. The second one, I can't really remember. Oh, but that's the one I think when Brett comes into the picture, and I do like that. That's her like ex. And then the third one we're gonna put there, the fourth one there, because this literally happens over such a short period of time. And also by like this time, it's like y'all are already married, just like go be with each other. I don't know. Yeah, that feels right. Give Me More by Sarah Kate. I'm going to put this one in Damn Good Time. After I finished it, I thought that it might be my second favorite of the series, but the longer I sit on it, the more I'm like, I really don't like something that happens in the end with it. I still gave it 4 stars and would still keep it there, and I still would recommend it. But it's one that when I've sat on, it's like frustrated me a little bit more, where like Eyes on Me, the more that I've sat on that one, the more I'm like, oh, I do actually really like that one. So that they like kind of swapped places, given some time and space away from them. But I think Mercy might blow both of them out of the water. I'm loving Mercy. So yeah, Give Me More is going in Damn Good Time. Haven by Astra Rose. So this one like should honestly go in like Damn Good Time, but honestly the smut game in it was so strong that it's going down here. Like it was hot. It was also fun, like the plot was there, that was fun. It was like a novella, reverse harem, love reverse harems, but the smut game in it was so strong that that's where it's going. But I did really like it a lot, and I gave it 4 stars, so it could be up higher in a category, but it just feels right to be there. It's carrying these books right here. It's blowing these books out of the water. The Stranger in Seat 8B, again, another novella. I did really like this one. I'm gonna put it in Good Fine Whatever. I liked it, would definitely recommend it, but honestly, I can't remember what happens past their time on the plane. Like, I don't really remember what happened after that. But I did really like it. Next up, we have Handsome Devil by Sarah Kate. I'm putting this in Damn Good Time. It's best friend's dad and like forced proximity. They're on a road trip to Vegas, and it was just a fun time. I really liked it. It's shorter, and honestly, I think that like Sarah Kate's writing in the shorter time span really thrived. Give Me More, I feel like there needed to be like a 3rd act breakup. Same with Eyes on Me, where I was just like, we don't need the same with Beautiful Sinner. It's like we don't need the 3rd act breakup, like just end it earlier. So I think that like with Handsome Devil, it really thrived with that like shorter time span. Oh my god, I forgot that I read Twisted Lies in here, carrying the God tier category, guys. I told you I barely had any God tier reads this entire 4 months. But Twisted Lies, God tier. Does it surpass though Twisted Love and Twisted Hate? No. Honestly, I don't even know if it surpasses Twisted Games, but especially like looking at this list, it's God tier in that. And like I did really love this one, and just the series as a whole, like I love, so it's really carrying that for me. I don't remember. Do I still have this list? Oh, okay. Twisted Hate I put in God tier. Oh, of course I didn't put Twisted Love and Twisted Games on a tier ranking list because I didn't read those this year and I didn't do this video last year, but it would definitely, it fits up there. I think all 4 of those would actually belong in God tier for me. Next up, we have The Devil's Submission by Nicola Davidson. This is one that when Rachel and I picked books for each other, this was one that she picked. I'm going to put this one in good, fine, whatever. It was not my favorite out of that video, not my favorite on the list, but I did like it. Like, it was fine. So yeah, it goes there. I don't really have much more to say on that. Now, Dirty First Dates, the arcade, strong smut game. Again, this and Haven carrying this category for me. These two both chef's kiss. Yeah, it's like 40 pages of pure smut and it's enjoyable. I love Harley LaRue's writing, and especially the arcade one. I have another one on here, the museum. Where is that one actually? Let's pull that one out. Let's just do this one now too. The museum, we're going to put strong smut game as well. But honestly, this like does not even compare to the arcade. The arcade was like so much better in my opinion. Then we had Cruel Black Hearts by Candace Wondrak. I'm going to put this in Damn Good Time. I really liked this book a lot. There were certain things about it that didn't necessarily work, but the ending for me completely like pulled it all together. And I loved it. It's a serial killer reverse harem book. We read it for Out of Bounds and I personally loved it. But I don't know if it like a lot of these are like 4 and 5 stars are like teetering on the 5-star range if they were like 4 stars like these two, where this one was like teetering on the 3-star range, but the ending really pulled it up. So that's why it's going in Damn Good Time. Faking with Benefits by Lily Gold. Honestly, in retrospect, good, fine, whatever. I would still recommend it. But y'all know like I'm never going to love lighter hearted rom-com kind of books. That's just not my style, but I did want like a lighter hearted one to include in my reverse harem recommendation video to you guys, because not everyone wants like bully dark vibes in their books. So I read that one. Honestly, it was fine, but it was so long. It should not have been over like 350 pages, but yet it was like 560 pages. And yeah, it did not need to be that long. Next up, In Flight by R.K. Lily. Again, one that the longer I sit on it, the more I'm like, that didn't really hit. And so that one's going in good, fine, whatever. Like, I wouldn't not recommend it, but also I wouldn't like push it on you guys of being like, you have to read this book, you know? Now, The Lady Gets Lucky by Joanna Shupe. God tier, bitch. I would have never thought that I would be putting a historical romance up there in God tier, but that book was so fucking good. I loved that book so much. I loved everything about it. There was not a single thing about that book that I would complain about. Like, honestly, it blew me away. It blew me away. I'm so glad that Rachel gave it to me to read, because like I would have never picked it up if I wouldn't have been doing that vlog with her. So God tier, that book was incredible. Now, The Duchess Deal by Tessa Dare, another book for that vlog. I'm gonna put this one in Damn Good Time. Yeah, I did like it. I gave it 4 stars, but I don't know. Yeah, it's not I love her. It's Damn Good Time. That feels right. Okay, I don't know what to do about these. I don't know what to do. I don't know if I'm going to include these, because if you've watched the vlog, you know how I felt about this series. You know how I felt about this series, and that's why I made it so disappointing. I don't know. We're going to leave those there. I'm going to think on what I'm going to do with those, because I can't like not put them up here, but also I don't know. Okay, you know what? We're going to leave them there. We'll figure it out. 24,690 by A. Dark. Damn Good Time. Fuck, we're out of room there. We might have to overlap some. I really liked 24,690 a lot. It's super, super dark. One of the darkest books that I've ever read. It's like not really even romance yet, but I had a good time while reading it. Home Game by Odette Stone. That's going God tier. I absolutely loved this book. Loved this book. I flew through it. It was just as addicting as Puck Me Secretly, which was the first book in that series. And I gave that one 5 stars as well. And this one was just as incredible. I loved the slow burn of Ryan and Zoe's relationship. I thought the length of it was perfect. I thought the conflict in it was great. Like everything about this book, I once again had like really no complaints about it. It was just amazing. Love Lessons by Cassie Mint. Honestly, this one's going in. It was a book. It's a student teacher novella. It was fine. I have like nothing against it. But even like it doesn't belong in here. Like the smut game wasn't even that strong in it. It was kind of like whatever. And honestly, there wasn't much to it. It was fine. It truly was fine. It was a book. Fair Catch by Candy Steiner. I love her. That was really, really good. It was my first Candy Steiner book. Following one that I had DNF'd from her. I had DNF'd what's it called? The Palm South University series. And I hadn't picked up anything from her since, but I really wanted to get to Blindside, so I read this one first because that's the first book in the series, even though it is a companion. And I loved it. I thought it was really good. I enjoyed it. Cold Dark Souls by Candace Wondrek. So this is the second book following up Cruel Black Hearts. This one I did not like as much. I'm putting it in good, fine, whatever. I talked about it in my wrap up, there were just quite a few things about it that didn't necessarily work for me, and the pace of it as well. It was just kind of slow, not a lot happened, and it felt off to me, and I didn't love it as much as I loved the first one. Passion and Venom by Shannara Williams. I love her. It was so dark. It was just, it was so dark. It was so good. So different than the Wanting Mr. Kane series. And, I really, really liked Passion and Venom. I do plan on going back and continuing on with the series because it does end, on a bit of like a, not a cliffhanger, but more of like they're not happy. And I need to kind of see how it resolves itself. We're getting down towards the end here. I'm sorry, I feel like this video, I think you can kind of tell that it's like I felt meh about a lot of the things that I read these past 4 months. Like when I even like look back at this list here, like, oh my God, there's so many where I like feel so strongly about. And I just don't really have that. Even like the ones down here, like, and literally no, like I have strong feelings about those. Even the It Was a Book, I have strong feelings about those. Even the Good Friend, whatever. A lot of them I'm looking at and I'm like, oh, I could say a lot about that. Looking at this, it's just like, I don't know, dude. Especially like these bottom two. It's just kind of like, yeah. Into the Clearwater by B. Celeste. Okay, we got to start condensing these a little bit. See if I could figure out those damn tier ranking websites without giving them my Twitter. I would be able, they like auto adjust, but because I make my own, I'm not about to adjust these categories and make all these pictures smaller. So we're instead going to do this and kind of condense. I mean, y'all already saw what I put here, so y'all already know what it is. But we're gonna kind of make these a little smaller. And Into the Clearwater is gonna go in Damn Good Time. I did really like that. Very character driven, very slow, but I did like, it's a love triangle, which I don't necessarily love, but this one kind of like took me aback a little bit. It did not go how I thought it was going to go regarding the love triangle, and I liked that. I like being thrown off. Does It Hurt by H.D. Carlton. I'm gonna put this one in Damn Good Time as well, mostly because of the ending. I did not really click with this book, and that made me really sad because I absolutely love the cat and mouse duet, and I think H.D. Carlton's writing is strong, but there was something about this book and me that we never meshed, And I don't know, I did really love the ending of it, but the beginning of it was so hard for me to get into. So it's going to go in Damn Good Time because the ending, when I was sitting there, I was like really enjoying my time reading it. But yeah, the beginning of it was not it for me. Distorted by Nyla K. I fucking hated this book. It's my first 1-star book of the year. It's going in It Was a Book, and honestly, it shouldn't even. I hated it. I went in depth in my wrap up about my issues that I had with it. Beyond it being like not for me, there were like legitimate issues that I had with words that were used. And it's just like those should never be put on paper and published into a book. Next up, we have Pageant by Lilith Vincent. Again, this is going in Damn Good Time. I had a good time while reading it and ended on a cliffhanger. Parts of it were slow for me, but it's not good, fine, whatever, because I don't just feel like that book was fine. Like it was good. Like I liked it. But yeah. Bring Me Back by Kristen Granada. I'm going to also put in Damn Good Time. So this one, I really, really loved the story of the heroine, and it has really great mental health rep in it, and I really liked her and like even her romance with her neighbor. However, I didn't love the storylines that involve the hero in this and like his job, and I don't know, I didn't love aspects about it with that. So that's why it's going in Damn Good Time. Sweet Mercy by K.A. Tucker. That one's going to also go in Damn Good Time. Again, where is the second one? Gabriel Fallen. These are kind of like the Wolf Hotel series, though I have a better idea of what happened in each one. But the Empire Nightclub series, I just finished the 4th book, and honestly, I'm trying to remember what even happens in the 2nd book versus the 1st book. I gave these all 4 stars though, so you know what? It's just going to go right in there with Damn Good Time, because I can't really remember what the difference is between like the 2nd and 3rd book. I feel like the 1st book is distinct and the 4th book is very distinct, but these middle two, I don't know. Then I listened to the graphic audio of A Court of Thorns and Roses. This was my 4th reread of this book, and it's I love her. I loved the graphic audio. I have a really hard time with audiobooks because I have a hard time with anything that I can't focus on visually, like, and then retaining the information of it. So like audiobooks just don't do it for me. My mind completely like wanders off. But with the graphic audio, there's like sound effects and music and background noise, and it really helped me like staying engaged because it felt like I was listening to like a TV show while I was doing stuff, and that kept me way more engaged than if it was just like talking. So I loved the graphic audio. I'm reading the Akamath one right now, and I'm really liking that one as well. Okay, and then we have Sweet Christmas by Macaulay Smeltzer. So this was a novella that I had no clue existed, and I'm so happy that I know of its existence now, and I loved this. I did give this 5 stars, but I'm gonna put it in I love her. Honestly, if it was like any other book, or not any other, there would be a lot of book couples I would love to see something like this from. If this was from a couple where I like genuinely didn't really care, this would have been like, I don't need it. Like, what's the point? Because it really is just Danny and Lachlan spending their first Christmas together, and it's just adorable. It warmed my heart. It was super cute. It was just like, I loved it. Okay, and lastly with Kate Stewart, I don't know. There needs to be like a 7th category of like authors in timeout, or like authors behaving badly that these could go into. Because here's the thing, you know what? Okay. After this video is done, I'm probably not really going to be talking about the series much more anyway, so I'm just going to be honest. These were God tier for me. Like Exodus and The Finish Line were God tier reads for me. I loved these books so much, and I would have put Flock in probably Damn Good Time. So yeah, I probably won't be talking about the Ravenhood series that much more anymore on my channel either, but I mean, I'm putting them in the standings, you know where they stand, but moving forward, like, I'm not really gonna be talking about them. Let's take a look-sees at this. Anything that needs to be moved around. Honestly, I feel like this was pretty good first try. I don't really see anything that I want to bump around. This is pretty accurate to me. Like I said, I didn't have as many things this month that I felt super strongly about. Even looking at like this God tier compared to this God tier, like these books I genuinely think are going to end up in my top 10 books of 2022, where like looking at this, I don't know if these will make it. Yeah, even though like I loved them and they stand up, I just don't know if I had as many amazing books in this past 4 months as I had the first 4 months of the year. Anyways, that is it for today. I will have, as I said, my next tier ranking video at the end, or probably I guess like in January, because I want to have everything that I read in December. Yeah, that's it for today. I'll have probably a recommendation video up next week, depending if this is going up this week when I'm filming this. I'm filming this on the 6th, but I'm kind of going back and forth honestly right now if I want to keep doing 2 videos a week or not. Honestly, I've just been feeling pretty drained from like other things. I think too, it's just like, you know, mental health and stuff that I don't know if 2 videos right now is going to stay the course for me here, if that's like possible for me right now. I don't know. So this might go up next week if I move to like a 1 video a week schedule. I don't know. I'm really torn on it. So I don't know. You'll see this when you see it, and you'll see whatever I have next when you see that. So yeah, that's it for today, and I will see you when I see you.